All right, let's just jump right in. What we're talking about today isn't just the next iPhone. No, it's bigger than that. We're looking at a huge shift in how we use technology, basically moving from the smartphone era into the AI phone era. And Apple is getting ready to make its big move.
You know, when the CEO of Apple says something is bigger than the internet and the smartphone combined, you've got to pay attention. That's not just marketing fluff, it's a mission statement. Look, Apple might not be the first one to the AI party, but just like with the Mac and the iPhone, their goal isn't to be first. It's to be the one that gets it right and sets the standard for everyone else.
So the best way to really wrap our heads around what's coming is to think of it in two main parts. First, you've got the iPhone 17 itself, the physical body, right? Engineered for a brand new purpose. And then you have Apple Intelligence, the software brain that actually brings this thing to life. And they absolutely need each other. One is pretty much useless without the other.
Okay, so let's start with that physical stage, the body, because every single hardware upgrade we're about to talk about isn't just there to make things a little bit faster. No, this is all about building the necessary foundation to run a powerful new kind of intelligence, right there in the palm of your hand.
Rumor has it this is going to be Apple's most diverse lineup ever, really trying to have a model for everybody. You've got your usual suspects, the Standard, the Plus, and the Pro models. But the big surprise here, the new kid on the block, could be this iPhone 17 Air. Just imagine a model that's all about being incredibly thin and lightweight.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. This number right here. For the Pro models, we're expecting a huge jump to 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's a 50% increase from the last couple of years, and honestly, it's probably the single most important hardware upgrade in the entire lineup. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. Why should you care? Why does a boring spec like RAM suddenly matter so much? Trust me, this isn't about keeping a few more browser tabs open. It's about making space for a whole new way of computing.
So here's the simplest way to think about it. RAM is like your phone's short-term memory, or think of it like the size of your desk. The AI models that are going to power Apple Intelligence are massive, and they need a really big, dedicated workspace to run all the time in the background. Without that 12 GB of RAM, that instant, always-on AI experience that Apple is promising, well, it just wouldn't be possible. Of course, the body is also getting a major upgrade for all the storytellers out there. Your selfies are about to get a whole lot sharper, with every single model rumored to get a new 24-megapixel front camera. That's double what we have now. And for the pros, oh yeah, they're going all in with a crazy triple 48-megapixel system on the back. The Pro Max might even jump all the way up to 8K video. Wild.
You know, it's funny, there's actually a bit of a debate going on about what the Pro models will be made of. Will they stick with that cool titanium or go back to aluminum? These conflicting rumors just go to show that while the big picture is coming into focus, some of the juicy details are still a total mystery. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the other half of this equation. We've seen the body. Now let's meet the brain. And Apple Intelligence isn't just some new app you download. No, this is a personal intelligence system that's baked right into the core of the operating system. And here's a little taste of what it can actually do for you. The writing tools, they can take a quick email you wrote and instantly make it sound more professional. Genmoji lets you dream up a custom emoji of, I don't know, a T-Rex in a party hat. The cleanup tool can magically erase that person who photobombed your perfect vacation shot. And Siri, well, Siri's finally getting a massive upgrade so it can actually understand what's on your screen.
Take Genmoji, for example. It's so simple. You just type a description, literally a smiling avocado wearing a superhero cape, and boom, the AI creates it for you on the spot. Then you can use it just like any other emoji. It's fun, it's creative, and it's completely unique to you.
But the real story here, the thing that sets Apple apart, is how it's doing all of this. It all comes down to a fundamental choice. Think of it like this. Most AI out there runs in the cloud. That's kind of like doing your homework in a public library. You've got tons of resources, but it's public. Apple's betting big on on-device AI, which is more like doing homework in your own bedroom. It's secure, it's private, it's instant, and your data never has to leave.
But they also have a really clever answer for those bigger, more complex tasks. They're using what's called a hybrid model. The key word here is default. The default is always on your device for maximum privacy. But for really tough requests, your phone can reach out to something called a private cloud, which is built on a radical promise. Your data is never, ever stored. It's just used to answer your question, and then it disappears.
So this whole privacy-first approach puts Apple in stark contrast to its biggest competitors. This isn't just a battle over who has the flashiest features. No, this is a clash of philosophies about what the future of AI should even look like. Just look at how this all breaks down. You've got Apple, who is all in on being privacy first. Then you have Google's Gemini, which is cloud first, using its massive data centers to do the heavy lifting. And Samsung is kind of focused on this idea of democratization of AI, just getting it onto as many devices as possible. And you can see they even have different ideas about cost, with both Google and Samsung hinting that you might have to pay a subscription for their best features down the road.
So, let's bring it all back home. We've talked about the powerful new body, and we've talked about the brilliant new brain, and it's only when those two things work together in perfect sync that this whole vision of a personal genius in your pocket actually comes to life. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. That 12 gigabytes of RAM, the new A19 Pro chip, none of that is just for simple speed boost. That hardware is the direct result of a strategic, philosophical choice. It's the physical price that Apple has to pay to make its privacy-first, on-device AI vision a reality. At the end of the day, the body was built specifically for the brain.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty big question. Are we just witnessing the end of the smartphone as we know it? And is this the real beginning of what comes next? A truly personal computer that's deeply intelligent, that understands you, protects you, and just happens to live in your pocket?